Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Division II Women's Volleyball Selection Show. I'm your host, Will Haskett. It is one of the best championships in all of college sports, and it begins today as we unveil the 64 teams still alive in pursuit of a title. Those teams will celebrate the holiday with championship dreams still in their minds and the regional action serving up in just under 2 weeks. The 8 regional winners will advance to Denver and the Auraria Events Center, with the championship contested coming up on December the 12th through the 14th. Now the question, will Tampa be there to defend its title, and what teams might make history this season with a possible first trip to that final site? All of it starts with an understanding of that path to a title, so let's get right to the selections with 22 teams in as automatic qualifiers, 42 others sweating out at-large berths. This year, in order to spread the drama out a little bit from years past, we will begin with the Midwest region. The top seed and the first team to celebrate today is Lewis, which will play as host as well. The Flyers are perennial participants in the tournament, now in for the 14th straight season. Last year, Lewis rolled all the way to the national semifinals, and this roster has the talent to do it again. Motivated after a loss in the GLVC semifinals, the Flyers are refocused for another deep tournament run this year. All right, and now the real celebration as the bubble does not burst for Saginaw Valley, earning an 8 seed and the program's 6th ever NCAA tournament berth. GLIAC champ Ferris State is the 4 seed. The run of conference dominance continues for the Bulldogs, who have topped this conference now for 6 straight seasons. Senior outside hitter Allison Kappel was named the GLIAC Player of the Year for the 3rd year in a row, becoming the first player in conference history to claim the honor 3 consecutive seasons. She is top 20 in the nation in kills at over 4 per set. That's the defensive assignment for Rockhurst. The Hawks earning back-to-back GLVC championships and now have won 3 overall, all under the legend. Head coach Tracy Ritzke now has 1,273 career victories. The all-time winningest coach in NCAA Division II ranks 4th in career wins for all 3 NCAA levels. A strong season results in a 2 seed for Hillsdale. 3 straight tournament berths for a team with plenty of balance. Lindsay Mertz is 11th in the country in assists, many to Alyssa Van Wielen, who ranks 2nd in the nation in attack percentage. Add Taylor Weiss, who anchors the defense at nearly 6 digs per set. That ranks as 6th best in the country. We say good evening to UIndy and a happy group of Greyhounds back in the tourney for the first time since 2014. Missouri St. Louis earns the 3 seed. The Tritons' 29 wins are the program's most since 1991, making the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2010. Senior outside hitter Selena Nolte became the program's all-time career leader in kills this season, breaking a 29-year-old record. The Tritons enter the tournament having played in the program's first GLVC tournament championship match, which they lost in 5 to Rockhurst. They look to bounce back against Michigan Tech, the last team unveiled here in the Midwest. All right, we now slide to the East. Top seed and host in the East this year is Malloy. 3 straight tournament appearances for a program on the rise. Serving always a huge weapon in this region, and this is a team with that great weapon. Casey Affronti leads the nation in aces per set. She was the ECC Player of the Year as the Lions swept the postseason awards across the board. Happy holidays to Adelphi, the final team in the East, making back-to-back trips now to the NCAA tournament. 4th seed, St. Anselm, the Hawks season continues with an at-large selection after dropping a 5-set thriller in the conference semifinals. Elise Jolly had a career-high 20 kills in the match, building some momentum into the NCAA tournament to tackle New Haven, making its 34th appearance as the 2nd best mark of any program. Well-deserved 2 seed for Bentley. First tournament appearance since 2014, and what a way to get there. Down 2 sets to none in the Northeast 10 championship match, the Falcons came all the way back to win the title for the first time since 2006. Danny Miller had the match-clinching kill and leads the offense into the tourney. And that first-round matchup for her and the team comes against Holy Family, which made the regional finalist tournament debut just a season ago. Final matchup begins with Bridgeport. No team in the country is more dangerous on the service line, leading the nation in aces with 2.6 per set. That aggressive philosophy is team-wide. There are 3 different players on the roster, top 20 in the country in aces this year. The service receive will need to be tight from Georgian Court, the CACC champions. Moving now to the always difficult and loaded Central region now, and one of 2 undefeated teams left in the country headline. That's Nebraska Kearney, top seed and host. It is not just the record and the wins this season for the Lopers, but it is their scrappiness on the court that will provide a test to every team in their tournament championship path. 2nd in the country in digs per set, this team knows how to keep rallies alive. Great American Conference champ Oklahoma Baptist will be the opponent in the opening round. The 4th seed in the Central belongs to Northern State. 3 straight tournament appearances for the first time in program history for the Wolves, who made some history in doing so. Competing in the brutal Northern Sun, an outright regular season championship was the first in program history. Next up, perhaps an NCAA tournament win, which would be the first in school history and a welcome reward for some incredible players. Laura Snyder was Conference Player of the Year, while Ashley Rozelle is top 5 in the country in assists and now has over 5,000 in her career. She will guide the offense against St. Cloud State, back in the tournament for the first time since back in 2004. We mentioned the Central always loaded, and Minnesota Duluth proved so as the 2 seed. No team in the country has gotten more balls to the floor on average than this one. Leading the nation in kills per set, it is setter Emily Baltz who makes the offense go. She is second in the nation in assists, many of them coming to Kate Berg, who is top 10 in kills per set, well over 4 on the season. And it would not be a tournament without both Minnesota Duluth and their first-round opponent, Central Missouri. 35th appearance for the program. That's tied for the most ever with Tampa. Speaking of a loaded region, how about Concordia St. Paul as a 3 seed, the most decorated program in history of the sport. May not be the overwhelming favorite this year, but never sleep on a 9-time national champ. Jasmine Mulvihill is the offensive weapon of note, leading the team in attacks, kills, and points. Top 10 in the country in the latter, and this is still a top 10 offense nationally in terms of kills. Washburn will take on the task of trying to knock off the Bears in the opener. All right, final region on this half of the bracket is the Atlantic, historically controlled by our top seed and host. No surprise to see Wheeling on that top line, the most dominant team in the Atlantic, including the magical run to a national championship back in 2015. The hallmark of this program has always been ball control, 2019 no different. Stephanie Sylvester leads the nation in assists, while Audrey Francis is top 10 in the country in digs. Never any holes on this roster. They open with CIAA champ Fayetteville State, back for the first time since 2013. A strong 4-5 matchup starts with Shippensburg, the Raiders. All about opportunity this year. Top 10 in the country in digs with over 20 per set. It has provided this team with more attack attempts and kills than almost any school in the country. Emily Hangen runs the offense for a team making its 5th straight tournament appearance. And it will certainly be a battle with Millersville. Congratulations to a squad making generational history, as this is the first tournament appearance and 2nd overall since the program's first trip all the way back in the mid-1990s. It was a nervous wait for the Marauders, who lost in their opener of the PSAC tournament, but they are in, and for the first time in over a generation, it is Millersville in the NCAA tournament. No surprise, however, to see Gannon slotted in the field and on the 2 line, make it a full decade with trips to the tournament for the Golden Knights, who are looking to bounce back after a semifinal loss in the PSAC tournament. Seton Hill earns an at-large to make 3 straight tournaments for the first time in program history. And our final matchup sees a 3 seed as the reward for East Stroudsburg, fresh off their first PSAC championship since 1987, and now the Warriors' first NCAA berth since 2000. Treya Ketter leads the nation in total blocks for a team with the most wins for their program since all the way back in 1996. League foe Shepherd will look to deny them win number 30. An incredible regular season began with 18 straight victories and culminated with senior outside hitter Peyton Lindblad named as the first-team All-PSAC selection, and freshman middle blocker Alicia Smith named PSAC Freshman of the Year. All right, those who are in, you can exhale for a little bit and keep on smiling, but those still waiting, hold your breath a little bit longer. We will unveil the second half of the bracket right after this.
Unmatched determination, incredible strength. This trophy is not given, it must be earned. The NCAA Division II Women's Volleyball Championship, December 12th through 14th at Auraria Events Center in Denver. Visit ncaa.com/tickets and get your tickets today.
Welcome back to the 2019 Division II Women's Volleyball Selection Show. We have already unveiled half of the bracket, but 32 teams still await the news of their destination and opponent coming up in 2 weekends' time. As we get back into the bracket, we will head out west, and maybe the most predictable top seed in the country Cal State San Bernardino. Another epic season for head coach Kim Chernis and the Coyotes. Is this the year they win that elusive first national title? It helps to be absolutely loaded with talent. Alexis Cardoza, the CCAA Player of the Year, and Lilia Tomalalati is the Libero of the Year. Cardoza ranks 3rd in the country in kills, while teammate Sasha Dominique anchors the best middle presence in the country. She leads the nation in hitting percentage, as does her team, with the Coyotes 2nd in the country in blocks. The front line will battle a happy group of Wildcats as Central Washington takes the last spot in the West for their 8th straight trip. Alaska Anchorage came a win away back in 2016, and those 4-year players on the roster would love to book in their career with a national championship. The path forward begins with UC San Diego. A few milestone moments for the program this year, including the most wins since 2015. That is thanks in large part to the All-CCAA first-team members Trinity Castaneda and Jessica Reibel. Reibel has anchored the middle with a top 10 attack percentage in the country. She got national attention earlier this year with an AVCA Player of the Week honor, becoming the first player from UC San Diego to be recognized as such since the program joined Division II back in 2000. Is there another West title in Western Washington's future? A year removed from the program's 2nd national runner-up, the GNAC champions are on a mission this year to win their first national title. The team opened with 17 straight victories this season, an all-time best. It carried them through to a 3rd straight conference tournament title. Again, the net presence always the key, with this team leading the nation in blocks. Kaylee Harper is the force in the middle, the active career leader in Division II with 583 blocks, and she certainly will draw a lot of attention in this NCAA postseason. That includes from Hawaii Hilo. What a run for first-year head coach Chris Leonard, guiding the Vulcans to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011. Now is time for championship history for a program that won 6 NAIA or AIAW national championships in its program history. Final matchup out west features the 3-seed Cal State LA. The Golden Eagles pushed San Bernardino to 5 sets in the CCAA championship, the closest any team came to beating the Coyotes this season. Close, however, isn't good enough, but in their first NCAA tournament since 2010, this is a team that knows it can play with the best. Had to start strong against Azusa Pacific, making the program's 2nd tournament berth after winning the Pac West. All right, to the South Central region now, and what a comeback season for the top seed and host, Regis. A rare missed tournament a season ago for the Rangers, but back in a big way in 2019. The regular season champs in the RMAC, the Rangers were upset in the semifinals of the conference tournament, just the 4th loss of the season. The nation's 4th most efficient offense will now look to rebound with the program's 23rd NCAA tournament. And the championship dream scenario is still alive for MSU Denver, in with the last spot in this region and a chance to play their way back home. Welcome back to the tournament to Arkansas Fort Smith, tournament bound for the first time since 2016 to battle Texas A&M Commerce in the opening round. 3rd consecutive tournament appearance for the Lions ties a school record in a year where the team shared a Lone Star Divisional Championship. Shelly Chaperone was named the Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Year, leading the conference in points scored during the regular season and ranked in the top 3 in blocks and attack percentage. She was one of 5 players who earned all-conference status. 2-seed belongs to Colorado School of the Mines. A magical postseason continues for the Ore Diggers, who knocked off 5th-ranked Regis and then 2nd-seeded MSU Denver to capture the RMAC title. Abby Tiesman was the tournament MVP. She leads the team in kills, blocks, and hitting percentage. She and the rest of her team will open up with Tarleton State, making its 6th consecutive NCAA tournament. Redemption story for 3rd-seeded Angelo State as well. After missing the tournament for the first time in 8 years last year, the Rams are back, led by Lone Star Conference Coach of the Year Chuck Waddington. This is a team loaded with experience. Setter Megan Parker was first-team All-Conference in addition to being the Academic Player of the Year, and surpassed 4,000 assists in her career this year as well. Lots of passes go to Kaylin Gilbreth, the Offensive Player of the Year. They start this upcoming tournament run with the final team in the South Central region. It'll be Angelo State taking on West Texas A&M and their storied program. 2 to go as we head to the Southeast region. The top seed and host is no surprise to the tournament. That belongs to Wingate. Legendary head coach Shelton Collier took over this program in 2002 and has built it into the power of this region, missing the NCAA tournament just twice since getting the job. This year, Collier's team is dominating in many areas, ranking 3rd in the country in both aces and blocks. That net presence has helped to hold opponents to an .080 hitting percentage. That's the 2nd best defensive mark in the country. That defense will get and greet Conference Carolina's winner Emmanuel in the opener, tournament bound for the 2nd straight season. Back-to-back appearances and a 4 seed for Augusta, which repeated as Peach Belt Conference tournament champs. thanks to turning Most Valuable Player Nicolette Ramos. She will swing against the 5-seed SC Aiken. Defense, defense, and more defense for a program making its 6th straight tournament. 4th in the country in digs with over 20%. That ability to extend rallies equates to a top 10 opponent hitting percentage on the other side of the net. And individually speaking, Rebecca Martinez has nearly 6.5 digs per set and ranks 3rd in the country in that mark. A 2-seed in the Southeast awarded to Queens. The Royals back in the tournament after a run to the SAC championship match. That snapped a 9-match winning streak, and now Queens hopes to win 6 straight to close out the season. 3rd in the country in digs, the team averages over 20.5 per set. Rest easy Flagler in with an at-large after missing out a season ago and reaching the Peach Belt Championship this past weekend. The party continuing for Carson Newman, the 3-seed. The SAC champs swept Queens for that title, capturing the championship as the 4th seed. A +10 advantage in blocks was the big reason why. A red-hot team starts the tournament with Anderson, 3 straight tournament appearances for the first time in program history. This is a very balanced offense and a single player averaging over 3 kills per set. All right, we saved the final region for the Powerhouse South, where the top seed and host is rewarded for the incredible season by Lynn. Only the 6th tournament appearance and 1st since 2016 for the Knights. But what a way to return to the tournament. Lynn has won 14 straight entering the tournament and captured the Sunshine State Conference crown for the first time in program history. A top 20 offense is firing on all cylinders entering this loaded region. They look to keep rolling against SIAC champion Spring Hill in the opening match, and there'll be plenty of familiarity when conference foes come to square off in the 4-5 matchup, headlined by Embry-Riddle. The Eagles, tournament-bound for the first time, tested from a vicious schedule, but the team is licking its wounds a bit, having lost 4 straight and 5 of 6 entering the tournament. And one of those losses came against St. Leo, who the Eagles draw in the opening match. As dangerous of a 2-seed as they come, with Tampa ready to defend. The reigning national champs returned to the top of D2 a season ago, giving Chris Katnack his 3rd national title. Katie McKeel was one of 4 different Spartans to make the all-tournament team a year ago, and she is back from last year's run to try and win another ring this season. She ranks in the top 50 in kills for a deep and balanced offense. Tampa has played in every NCAA tournament since 1996. A little less experience for the Spartans' opponent, but they don't care. They just wanted to hear their name. Go ahead and go crazy. Alabama Huntsville. The Chargers return to the tournament for the first time since 2005, surviving the at-large process despite a loss in the Gulf South Tournament semifinals. No such drama waiting for Barry, the 3-seed. The 3-time national champs returned to the tournament last year after a 7-year drought, losing to Tampa in the regional semifinal. This year the Bucks have been tested, but will need to find a way to be successful away from home. They were 12-2 at home this year, but just 8-9 on the road. That is a stat that West Florida hopes to exploit, although the 2 teams did meet back on a neutral floor on October the 19th. That was a straight sets win for Barry. All right, there you have it, all 64 teams who are still alive in pursuit of a national championship. Make sure you enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday and then hop right back here on NCAA.com the first weekend of December for all the updated regional results and news throughout this tournament. The 8 regional winners will be reseeded with the national quarterfinals taking place on December the 12th, semifinals the following day, and the national championship takes place on December the 14th, all coming your way from Denver. You can catch every single point from the D2 National Championship right here on NCAA.com. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Congratulations and best of luck to all the student athletes competing in this year's championship.
Unmatched determination, incredible strength. This trophy is not given, it must be earned. The NCAA Division II Women's Volleyball Championship, December 12th through 14 at Auraria Events Center in Denver. Visit ncaa.com/tickets and get your tickets today.